you'll never find a more wretched hive of scum and villainy. We must be cautious.
Hey guys, looks like your free ride's over, huh? Have fun living on the streets.
Okay, cool. Good chatting, you guys.
What's going on, everybody? It's Wednesday. It's the weekly Rogues Gallery. We're on episode 5 of doing the 2 shows a week, and it's going pretty good. We're here to have a fun night, joined by a very special guest, a recent master of memes himself, Syfaxx. What's going on, man?
What's going on, man? Thanks for the invite again. You know, this twice now. What, in 1 week or 1 week apart? Awesome, man. Thanks. Happy to be here. And that was a good clip. I was curious what I was like. What are you going to use my face for? I was trying to think of it, and then that one caught me from left field for sure. I was like, what?
Man, I was trying to think. Like, I gotta make this one a little extra funny because of the meme gold you've been dropping on everybody. So it's like, all right, that works. For sure. All right, who else we got here? We got Drunken Emerald Arrow. What's going on, man?
It's hump day. We're just a little over a week until the Vegas meetup, and less than a week until actually being there in Vegas. So trying to get everything in order, trying to get some stuff set up, because while we're on the road, we may do a little bit of live streaming, Theo and myself, on the trip down. So I'm kind of get some thumbnails made and some stuff kind of prepped up for ready to go.
All right. Awesome. Now, did you get the trunk space prepped and carpeted and ready for Theo on your journey?
Yes. I got the cage wall between the back seat and the cargo space for him to chill out in. He'll be very comfortable. And it's also got toilet paper rolls that are nicely put up for him to grab at. So
gotta get a nice like hamster bottle, you know, so he has water.
Speaking of people who could put me in a cage, Gina's here. What's up, girl?
Exactly.
What's up? Long time no see, everybody. What has it been, like 12 hours?
Yeah,
roughly.
Over, but yeah.
Roughly. Yeah, we were all over on this gentleman right over here's show last night, Third Relify, and that was a pretty exciting evening. A little didn't know what to expect going into it, and definitely felt the same way walking out. So
yeah, that's I think that's gonna be my goal a handful of times a week. I think just that, because you don't have to curate a ton of stories, and the bullshit starts to speak for itself, and you get a lot of good laughs out of that. And I think, what did we come up with? It was like hashtag 27 club or something. I think we also got out of that last night. And, yeah, so it was a good time.
Yeah, if anybody missed that show, go over to Rumble, follow Sean over there at Third Relify, and check the replay of that. Theo, what's up, dude?
What's up, buddy? Happy to be here. Very excited.
Awesome.
The search for Gina's Feet Finder continues. We still haven't found it yet, but we are working on it. It used to have the same username she has now. We haven't discovered it yet, but I've got a team of very dedicated perverts working on it day and night. So we will find it.
Right. So if there are any internet sleuths in the chat, and I think I recognize a few, there's apparently a what's it called? Feet Finder. You're the
Feet Finder.
You would know. Feet Finder.
Feet Finder. Iron. Feet Finder.
There's a Feet Finder that we're looking for to verify the integrity of, I guess, the feet. So there's that.
There is that.
So what's your stance on Feet Finder, Syfaxx? Yay or nay?
Hey, man, make your money however you want. Go for it, man. I mean, if people want pictures of my feet, I've done construction for a very long time, so they're pretty fucked up. But I mean, if you're into that, like, if like going to Asian massage parlors or wherever they, the pumice stone places where they rub your feet, like, you'll need like an angle grinder for mine. But I mean, you'll have a good time. It'll be fun.
Does that fall under Rule 34?
Sure, why not?
I imagine somewhere it does.
You spoke it into existence. Now it exists.
Yep. If it exists, there's porn of it. In case you guys didn't know, chat, what Rule 34 it's a terrible rule.
Hold that thought, because that might fall right in line with one of our first topics this evening. Let's see who we got in the chat. We got Allison. What's going on? How's it going? You've been a guest on the show. Would love to have you back sometime. You're always welcome. We got David D, the most underappreciated and underrated employee of Mr. Burger Enterprise. So everybody hail David D. He needs all the support he can get. Smooth the DJ, what's going on, man? Yeah, I've been having to check a lot of people that I thought I followed. I'm suddenly not. So I appreciate you giving me the resub there. Let's see who else we got. ScreamQueenSelena, who is in the back. She won't be joining us on screen today. She's still feeling sick. So, and needs to get better before the meetup. We got, there's Gina, who is here. How's it going, Gina? We got Master of Quiz, Emily Kruger. What's going on, Emily? We got Battsauce, beep, beep, latent gay, especially gay. Yep, as always. And Jack always has to do things a little extra classy. Trede et homo. Thank you. Or tarde et homo, I think, is that how you say it?
Why are you gay?
Latent gay in Latin. Thank you, Jack. Always good to see you, man. Master Hobo, greetings from the homeless shelter. So Selena got sick from Iron Oxide's 24-hour stream, huh? Well, let's blame Iron Oxide. It's not my fucking fault. I didn't get her sick. What the hell?
No, she admitted she got sick after doing Theo's show. So,
hey, whoa! Don't try to put this on me.
That leads to some questions. What's going on? What's up with that? Getting people sick via the internet. All right. We got Allison Sanders. What is going on? Right. We got Master or Battsauce again. I think that's everybody for now. Oh, hey, Diana. Good to see you coming in a little late. So, all right. So we're ready to go. So we were talking about Rule 34. Who was a fan of the Goofy movie growing up?
Oh, God.
Uh-oh. I'm already.
It actually has nothing to do with Rule 34.
Okay, because Goofy has a kid named Max.
It could. Hey, Max's girlfriend, when I was in high school, I was like,
Mad
damn,
Max.
girls in our high school, they weren't half dogs, but they weren't nearly as hot as her either.
I just remember it having like one of the best songs that's not a real song that should have been a real song, like from whatever that band was.
Yeah, what they call it, like Shockwave or something. It was kind of like a mix of Prince and
I
don't know.
I just remember it being
from Spider-Man.
Yeah.
I remember liking everything about that movie, but it seems like people you can draw your own conclusion of things. I understand, but some people just reach really, really far, and I think it's just kind of a level of narcissism. So let me show my screen real quick. Let's see. So I just saw this literally before the show just started. From this is an account I follow, and you should too. He's always posting some cool stuff. I can't say that though. Can you? We'll go through. Who's the smart one here? Drunken? Is it something the Ice Wolf? Bernrear? I can't say that. Fenria? Fenrir. Okay.
That's what I'd guess.
Yeah.
But so this comes from one of the usual profiles you'd expect, and it says, once upon a time, Disney had the guts to kick off a whole theatrical film with a gender dysphoria nightmare. And if you remember this scene, it's Max talking to the girl he likes and slowly morphing into his father, who is Goofy.
What's wrong?
So we got a pretty funny scene too. And I mean, we'll watch this until then, see where maybe our bigoted minds are messing something.
I don't see where gender dysphoria falls into this. Because I'm fairly certain Goofy and his son are the same gender.
I think it's appealing to a pretty universal human fear of turning into one of your parents in an unflattering way. Because when you're a teenager, you think your parents are just the shittiest, most cringe people ever, right? And so the thought of turning into them horrifies you. It's pretty universal. I think everyone's experienced that on some level.
And puberty is supposed to suck. It sucks for everybody. Like that's I mean that's basically one of the fundamental truths of the universe. Puberty will happen, and it's gonna suck.
Yeah,
and then you get over it, and then you carry on.
Yeah, like somebody in the chat just said, body dysmorphia, maybe, but gender that has nothing to do with it. Like that's stupid.
I I can see your point about body dysmorphia to a point, but I think I got to agree with Theo. And Sean, it's both. It's that fear of becoming your parents as you get older, and you start kind of seeing the world a little bit differently through that more mature angle, and not being as retarded. And then there's also just the natural, puberty and the fear of going through that and everything happening, voice cracking, all that bullshit. And that's even what he says here. He's like, how is this gender dysphoria? It's literally the fear of puberty and becoming his father as he turned from a boy to a man.
Yeah, No, it's a simple fear, especially because of looking at it from the pure animated story. His father is Goofy. He literally is more or less an outcast. He's not looked upon favorably, and and it's clearly a fear of becoming his dad and turning into exactly who he does not want to be.
Yeah,
but having no choice because he's going to become that.
Right. And like Theo was saying, with everybody thinks their parents are lame and embarrassing, and especially growing up in the 90s, most of the dads I knew wore fucking khaki shorts, fucking had the keys hanging down and the boat sunglasses behind the head, and it was really, really fucking embarrassing.
Thank you. Nobody wanted to be the George.
And then right. But then, the kids in the 90s were walking around with fucking black fingernail polish and kilts and shit and Doc Martens. So not much better. Both were equally awful.
You know, I've actually turned into the embarrassing parent. So I've pretty much fulfilled my parental destiny. Earlier today, I was talking to my son about Skibbity Toilet, and he just looked at me. Again, he's sick, right? He's autistic, and he's 7. He'll be 7 in the beginning of the month. He just looked at me, like exact words, "Dad, stop talking."
Yeah,
and I was like,
because you're gonna ruin
that's
it
my
for him.
destiny.
Yeah.
See, that's what I remember when like I think I was like 14, 15 years old, and God, something came out, either a movie or a new TV show, and me and my group of friends were really, really excited about it until the minute my stepdad walked in and his dorky ass said, "Oh, this is awesome. I love this." Like, oh, well, now this is fucking ruined forever. Thanks.
Yeah.
Thanks, Dave.
Yeah. It's like when it's kind of a maybe a weird example, but I think it applies. It's like the band Korn. I'm sure you all know Korn, right? Korn stopped being cool when its people who listened to it became parents, and then it was just moms and dads listening to it. So that's and they even said we know when our like time is like up is when it's just our audience is moms and dads. And then
also certain music once you start hearing that it's classical rock and you're like, that's what I grew up on. Like, fuck.
Yeah, that was the most depressing day of my life when I'm listening to the classic rock station and it's Nirvana.
Well, 2015 is cool for retro, right?
Like they'll throw in stuff like Green Day and shit from the 90s, and I'm like, oh no.
Hey, they're playing my jam in the supermarkets now. It's great.
Yeah.
Works for me.
My lovely feet.
Once your favorite rock band starts looking like disgruntled lesbians, it's over and they'll never be cool again. Green Day's no fucking exception.
One of the most disappointing from my childhood, finding out of all the things they've said. Hey, Selena, did you just hear that? We've got another Blink fan.
Hey, Blink's still cool, at least.
Yes. I'm not saying anything bad about Blink. I'm just saying, hey, Gina, Selena's a very big fan of Blink 182.
Dude, I would say the one that let me down the most, though, is Eminem. Eminem was a huge letdown late in career. Oh, my God. I used to really like his music. And then later, he's still like really technically gifted and he still produced. But as far as the messaging in his music, he used to be so controversial. And I don't know if he was ever able to adapt. And
I mean, he's like the first white guy to let other white guys have the N-word pass, and now it got revoked, man. What happened?
And then he got like Trump derangement syndrome.
Kicked that
and
ladder right out from under him.
I know that is so disappointing. Like that he got. That's so disappointing that like Eminem sided with the HR department and Bill Burr too. I know he's not a musician, but that was a really important person to me in my development. And oh my God, dude, it breaks my heart.
Bill Burr in the last couple of years, I was like, holy shit, I can't even listen to this guy anymore.
I think that's what hurts me the most is when like because I see comedy and music as a form of like rebelling against the establishment. And once you see either one of like your two favorites in both of those fields cave to the boot and just start,
rage against the machine.
Rage.
No, they've all been commies.
Well, sure, they've been commies, but they started out as they're commies against the machine, and now they became commies for the machine. You're like,
right?
Well, shit. Now you're worst of both worlds. You're like the, bad version of Hannah Montana and Miley Cyrus.
Well, you got Green Day revamping American Idiot 2, going back on tour, sponsored by Pfizer.
Right? Yeah, I think Green Day, a lot of the punk bands really, really let me down. Like even some of the more like not really underground, but just a little less mainstream. The ones that only like the people that were into punk rock knew about, and the majority of them are just as bad, if not worse, than Green Day. And it's like, it's just such a letdown.
Dave Grohl is another good example of that, eh?
Yeah. Oh, Dave Grohl's a huge example of that.
Yeah, Dave Grohl. Another example is The Offspring.
Yeah.
Yeah, the firing of their drummer. Oh my god, that was
because he couldn't take it because of medical condition.
Because he had taken one in like much earlier in his life and it harmed him, and so they're like, no, goodbye. I was like, I can never listen to another Offspring song ever again. I think I can't separate the art from the artist at that level. I can't.
Yeah, that's when it's the most. That's when it's the most disappointing when you can't separate them anymore. Like, there's certain actors and shit that I just like. Even if it's a movie I used to like, I'm like, I'll see it. I'm like, I haven't seen that for a minute. Let me go rewatch that. And I'm like, that actor will pop up, and I'm like, let me turn this off right now.
Mark Ruffalo is that for me?
Mark Ruffalo and Mark Hamill. Fucking Marks, man. They almost all the Marks suck. No, Mark Hamill, and Star Wars is already ruined for me, so I'm just glad that one doesn't sting as bad, and I can still watch Batman the Animated Series because I don't have to fucking see him. He's just the voice of the Joker. I can detach myself enough to not let that drive me fucking crazy. But yeah, and it's always one side, with actors or artists that are a little more center or even right leaning. They never go after their own fans or say you can't be a fan of mine if you disagree with me about anything else. It's usually the other artists and other people in the power structure of Hollywood or music industry, whatever it is, trying to bring them down and them fighting against that.
I mean, the only time I've seen it go the other way is with Zachary Levi. He comes out and speaks out. But even with that, I still can't watch Shazam 2 out of, other reasons, because the movie is a fucking pile of trash.
Because they're just awful movies.
Yeah.
Going back to the Goofy movie thing. So what is it, just a need for, certain people in that community to have to find a connection with everything, even when it's not there? I mean, they were trying to make the Babadook a LGBTQ icon for some fucking reason.
Yeah, dude. So I got this. So they're just obsessed, especially they've got this trans thing in their brain and it's all they can think about all the time. The same thing that happened with Dragon Age, the Veil Guard. Okay. That game, obviously, there was no need for that to have trans stuff in it, right? But the writer was trans. So all he thinks about all the time, all day, every day is the trans bullshit, because it's completely, he's got the brain worm and it's in there and it's burrowed in there. And he thinks this is the most interesting thing in the world. I'm going to be, fuck, man. You want to get your stream canceled? I'm going to tell you what this is. A lot of these guys are autistic and gender becomes their special interest. So they get obsessed with it, and it's all they fucking think about. So they see it everywhere because that autistic pattern recognition kicks on, and they see it everywhere. Okay, that's what it is.
Can I sort of refine your point a touch? Because
what?
Oh well, listen. I know a thing or two about autism. I'm drowning.
Sure. Okay,
I'm drowning in it, and it's too much. Okay, so often many individuals with autism have very, very weak senses of self. Sometimes it's actually the exact opposite, and their sense of self is really, really strong. Like, I can't even call my oldest boy like a monkey face. He's like, Dad, I'm not a monkey, I'm a boy. I'm like, okay, literal boy. But often it's a very weak sense of self. So TikTok algorithms and peer pressure and all that can really start to erode that to the point where they don't know who they are, and they become almost like a squishy blank canvas that can then be molded into whatever that's doing the peer pressure wants it to be. Whether maybe that's a dangerous TikTok algorithm, and I've seen that firsthand. And I've seen it. It's happened in my family, and luckily that was able to be undone. But sometimes you can't, especially when all of a sudden you have teachers being like, "Listen, we're going to keep your secret," or you have governments being like, "No, you're on this ride, you can't stop it," and so there's even a famous story of a mom who was sort of going through that, and the school was like, well, actually, we're not going to tell you all this stuff, and you sort of have to keep it going. And the girl was like, okay, well, or the mom was like, well, this is what we're going to do. I'm pulling you out of school. We're moving into the country, and you're going to go outside and look at trees and the grass and the sky. and then it's like a year later, the girl was like, "Yeah, I'm the happiest girl in the world. I'm very silly to think I was a boy," and it's just because of a weak sense of self. And because if you think about it, there's like a weird amount, like a disproportionate amount of autistic people in the trans movement. Well, it's not that trans equals transgender. It's that they're low hanging fruit. It's that other variable of a weak sense of self. You don't know who you are or what you are. You feel wrong, and well, yeah, of course you do, because that's the autism. But what is it even really to feel right? Like, nobody really knows that, but maybe they have a harder time. But they're low hanging fruit, and they get plucked by the left because they're just a bunch of fucking predators.
Right, and they're literally sacrificing these kids on the altar of an ideal.
Yes,
they're already vulnerable. There has that inability to identify with anything, so they need identity to be their identity, if that makes sense. This is where I need a scroll bar saying that I'm a retard and to shut up. We'll work on that for next week.
As a producer, so I can't pop that up easily.
Moving on from that, let's see what else we got to talk about here. So here's something cringe.
Jack brings up a really good point that there seems to be a lot of disproportionate amount of autism lately. Well, the thing is a lot of them, a lot of them are, I'm self-diagnosed autistic.
Well, and you'll notice every person that identify, especially young people that identify as a different gender or a made-up one, also have a laundry list of self-diagnosed mental illnesses as well. They're also, bipolar, multiple personality disorder, agoraphobic, et cetera, et cetera.
That's TikTok.
But I think, but as far as there being way more people with, with autism than there ever were, I think RFK Jr. is right on that. It's got to be, they're putting shit in our food over the last 40 years that didn't need to be there. Food and water.
Well, okay, so it's 1 in 32 or 1 in 36 or whatever. That's the statistics now, and in some cities it's like 1 in 28, right? So that's it's not going to get better. It's always just going to get worse. And so autism is kind of funny because it is a very, very large umbrella for a lot of things that kind of look the same, even though they're kind of different, sort of. Like, you can get so some vaccines cause some autism sometimes.
Right.
But also BPA. I mean, that was in everybody's plastic and cups and all that stuff for a long time. We didn't know until now. And then Girl Guide cookies. 100% of Girl Guide cookies contains autism causing chemicals. That glyphosate, Roundup, the weed killer Roundup.
Oh yeah, you threw me off when you said the actual like Girl Scout cookies, right?
Yeah, the Girl Guide cookies. They 100% of them. The researchers they couldn't find a single cookie that didn't have it in there. And I'm like, well, when my wife was pregnant, we bought a fuck ton of these cookies because she was pregnant. So does one of my kids have autism because my wife wanted snacks? Like, but also some viruses, some antidepressants. It's just so much, and it's to get this number back down. I don't even know how we're going to do it. So the number's only going to go up. There's only going to get more and more and more of them, and so that's the pandemic that people really need to worry about.
So I think what you're saying is all of these things in small amounts could increase to the number, but when you stack them all together, that's what's going to blow it up.
Well, so I mean, ultimately, it's anything that causes chronic inflammation in the brain, which ultimately that's what autism is, right? And so, I mean, sometimes a woman being sick when she's pregnant is, and has a high fever. Sometimes that can actually cause the brain inflammation in the baby, and it just stays. So it's really kind of crazy. So we have to get rid of like a lot of stuff, a lot of chemicals, a lot of like there shouldn't be fucking Roundup in cookies. Like there shouldn't be Roundup near a facility that makes cookies. So I mean, some of the stuff should be easy, but I mean some of the other stuff I have no
I want to
idea.
know what caused the peanut allergies. I remember going to elementary school and everyone eating peanuts and peanuts being all over.
So
the place.
that has to do with antibiotics as a child. It ruins your intestinal and your gut bacteria, all that good stuff in there.
Really?
Also, as the safety culture around keeping children away from peanuts became kind of pathological, children became a lot less resistant to peanuts over time. Actually, early exposure might be the key to killing the allergy.
Yeah.
We might have to weed out a few along the way, but we'll get back where we need to be.
Yeah, make Darwinism great again.
Stop protecting stupid. Can we take off all the warning labels? Do not use this snow thrower on a roof. Well, no, if they're stupid enough to take it on the roof, let them take it on the roof.
Well, okay, a warning like that is on there because somebody did something really wild at one time.
They sued. That's usually what it comes to. A lot of those warnings come from the company being sued. Yeah. Running lawnmower, don't stick your hands underneath it. Well, no, duh. I mean, seriously? Well, someone did it. And then, they got sued.
A lot of that stuff should be obvious, but like, working different kind of construction jobs, there's always an idiot there that'll do something retarded with something that shouldn't be used that way. And it's like, what possessed you in your mind that like, this is a great idea. I'm going to use this over here doing this. And it's like, why would you do that? And I've literally explained this exact conversation to people who I was training, and they're like, oh yeah, that makes sense. And I'm like, that should just be I shouldn't have to explain this, but you could see it click for them. Like, oh, I never thought about that. And it's like, Jesus Christ, like this company is doomed, but okay.
Well, it's kind of funny how don't put your finger there. It needs to be told to some people.
Well, it's the whole point.
Don't drink the bleach.
We're interfering with Darwinism because we're protecting the stupid. No, can we let common sense start weeding out some people a little bit? Maybe
call the weak, man. Just call the week.
Oh man. Let's see what else we got here. Pull up another one.
I sent you a couple memes there, Iron.
Oh, you did? Let's take a little break and pull up the memes. Where'd you put them, in the private chat?
And now they're in your X.
Oh, okay.
The first one you can use for a different time. The last one was relevant until he started talking about serious stuff. Now I kind of feel bad.
Oh, it's okay. I don't feel bad at all, so I'll go ahead and share it. Hold on.
I like a good Syfaxx meme. Nice.
I'll learn how to blend people's faces one of these days, but I can't do it quickly.
But the slapstick stuff, sometimes that makes it funnier. If it's too AI perfect, you're like, that could probably be somebody else. But if it's like that, sometimes it's funnier.
Mm-hmm. Let's see. I'm gonna go ahead and share the other one now. Also, would you fuck me? I'd fuck me. I'd fuck me.
Goodbye, horses.
Oh man. All right, let's see. Gonna go ahead and get the next screen pulled up here. Whoa, shit. Hold on. And sorry, dead air. That's fun. It's not like I have a whole panel full of people looking.
I ran across this one and I thought it was quite humorous. While you're pulling
if you got something pulled, we can pull that up next. But so I've been pretty happy with the way things have been going, but then they do shit like this.
This is so cringe.
Yeah, there's always people that'll take advantage of it in a stupid way, and then they do dumb shit like this. And it's like, this isn't the PR this isn't good for you. You don't realize this. But.
This is extremely bad, extremely cringe, and maybe this is why they shouldn't have elected any women into these higher positions, because
no, for sure.
I have been saying that for months, and women come at me in my chat.
Well, you were
Okay,
right.
Certain things
because-
women can't do and should not do. See,
Okay,
we think
hear
with
me
different
out,
parts of our body.
Okay, hear me out though. All right. When I say to you, hey guys, listen, if you got a little bit of money, you can go with the Russians and you can hunt Somali pirates. A lot of people go, what? You can go with the Russians and actually hunt the Somali pirates? That's awesome. Isn't this similar to that? I mean, it's a little less cool because of who it is. But I mean, if it was one of you and you were hunting illegals, I'd be like, whoa, Iron, that's fucking amazing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I see what you're saying, but I just don't. This goes back to the whole when the Epstein binders with all the conservative influencers holding up the binders for the photo op that
Also
turned out to be
cringe.
all bullshit.
Yeah.
I would rather just see things happen, even if we just find out after the fact. Okay, this shit happened, and this is a good thing.
If there's a video of her running down somebody and like chasing him like Dog the Bounty Hunter or some shit and tackling somebody, all right, post that video. Don't do these weird
because
shots.
Nothing like that happened. These people are not operators, but they got him there in the vest. And there's another picture. I don't know if you have that one.
Ride along.
Yeah, there's another one of
where'd you get that badge from? A Cracker Jack box?
No. So there's another one of Christy Nome like standing with guys who are actually doing stuff, and she's like holding a gun, because she's she's a super strong girl boss who doesn't take no bullshit, And yeah, dude, I don't know. I don't enjoy that. I don't enjoy that. I'm super happy about I liked. Like when they made the Ghibli photo, the Studio Ghibli photo of the fat chick who was dealing drugs, getting arrested, she was crying. That I liked, but I do agree that this is a little bit like your worst friend's Instagram.
It is. I think it's bad optically, but I can see where they're going with this, with the whole point of them really trying to push new media. And she's libs of TikTok. So I mean, it's one of those. She's the one that's out there putting that news out, reposting stuff. So I can see it from a certain point of why they're kind of doing it, but it just optically looks really bad. And most people don't see really her as necessarily a journalist. It's a little bit different if they took, let's say, Tim Pool on a ride along and they were actually filming to be part of a report or something like that. It's new media. That is
different.
That's different.
Or even if they had her just give an not like do a ride along, but no pictures, none of the, I mean, she's taking a selfie. It's so cringe. That influencer vibe is not cool. It's not cool anymore. It never fucking was. And if she wanted to be taken a little more seriously as new media, maybe doing an interview with Christy Nome afterwards, or some of the field agents, the ones that actually do the work, like Theo was saying. Not the administrator, the boss. Fuck that. They're not getting their hands dirty. Talk to the people that are actually doing that. Ask some questions about the risks that are involved, how important the work they're doing is, what could go, what's an example of one of their missions gone good, gone bad? What are some of the things that they need to anticipate? That's interesting. A selfie is just fucking stupid.
Yeah. And they should do an episode of Cops or reboot up Cops, maybe call it Ice, and then do it that way or something, instead of libs of TikTok being like, look, they gave me a badge. I'm special. I'm official now. You know what I mean? Like it feels like the conservative influencers with the Epstein files that were all redacted, that were unredacted last year that we already had. Like, it's just so cringe. It makes me take them not seriously. And that is the last thing that this administration needs, is for any reason to actually go, you know what? They are a joke. I don't need to take them seriously, because, this administration is actually beginning to falter. It's beginning to stumble. And some of it is own goals like this, like the Epstein thing. And that's just going to greatly slow down momentum from here on out. And it's only going to get worse.
Yeah, you can make a good TV show like that. There's that one guy that was talking about it. It's like you grab illegal people and you have them hunt child predators, and then if they get enough of them, they can get a green card, and you could call it Alien versus Predator. You know,
Yes.
Send them to
That'd be great.
Massachusetts. It's a mess.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
But this is actually her post, not the one where D-Day Cobra is roasting her a little bit for it, but the comments are not good. Valiant Renegade. This seems tacky. Is the admin now bringing influencers on stings for photo ops? That's exactly what it seems like. Yep. Josiah Rises. This is so fucking cringe and embarrassing. I mean, there are a few people that are cheering it on, but for the most part, yep.
Right there.
This is what it reminds them of.
Yep. Oh, it's gross.
And there she is holding the binder.
Mm-hmm. So, but who said it that it would have been better to have had Tim Pool and have it filmed almost like more like a mini documentary,
yep.
No more than 5 minutes, just going through the actual steps of a.
That's what I'm saying. A lot of these unforced errors coming out of the Trump administration are coming out of the women that they put in high positions. Like the vibe of this photo shoot was girls just want to have fun and also catching illegals. And that's just like not what government, like one of the things I like about Trump is that he's super macho and no bullshit. And I will say to his credit, at least he picked mostly hot women to be in his cabinet. I do think that's pretty based. But I would really like to see other like badass dudes, doing stuff. And he's got some good dudes with him, but I don't know. I think
Kristi Noem is spicy.
No, yeah, but there's part of me that thinks that if you're gonna really, expunge this infestation of the HR department that has taken over our country and ruined it, you kind of do need women on your side if you're gonna do that, because a lot of the battle is going to be passive aggressive and feminine. Well,
that and they run most
Yeah. So not too long ago, she had a really big like adultery scandal. It was like Kristi Noem was like banging her like chief of staff or whatever in her blacked out SUV, and I did I did a few videos about it. I at some point I even referred to her as Sticky Gnome because it apparently happened all the time.
Sticky Gnome.
Yeah. So every time I see her, I think of that. I'm like, oh goodness. Yeah. So.
Oh man, I hadn't even heard about that one. Sticky Gnome. Blue-eyed Scorpio. It's more out of touch than the handpicked influencers trying to make fetch happen.
Yeah.
I mean,
I'll be right back.
They're really gonna have to do something big to kind of course correct here. And I like what you were saying, Emerald. The need to kind of bring these people in so that they're becoming the new media is important, and having an actual, even some media on his side too helps, but
there's a difference between an actual like news reporter that's in new media that's doing it. I mean, compared to essentially, I mean, I'm not going to go against libs of TikTok and say that. I mean, she's not showing a reflection of what they're doing over on TikTok, but it's the simple fact is she's more of an influencer than she is a reporter and a journalist. That's where the Tim Pool comes in. Yep. That's where you're going to have, I hate saying it, but they are technically kind of, even though they suck, is if they had Young Turks riding along just to see what's going on and them doing a report. I mean, granted, they're still kind of new media, even though they suck the boot of mainstream media. Mm-hmm. They're still within that same kind of sphere. But it's if you're wanting to get away from the legacy media of the cable news networks and stuff like that, and looking towards the new media of the internet and stuff like that, that's where you should be going to, more that are more closer to journalists and commentators specifically that are doing it.
If you took that exact same photo and swapped it out, but had Anna Kasparian in it, I would take that photo 100 times more seriously.
Yeah, actually, I would.
I can see why. Yeah, I can see that.
I don't even know who that is.
She was from the Young Turks, but she's sort of switched sides. Am I right? That's what we're talking about.
She's gone centrist. I wouldn't say she's gone right. I would say she's realized that the left went way left and left her behind. So she's now she's now like an Elon Musk centrist.
A few things had sort of happened to her, and then she was like, "Hey, why is this happening?" Like she was, I think she was telling a story about how like she was like, what was she walking her dog or something like that, and a homeless person came up to her and was like accosting her or whatever, and she was telling the story, and then everyone was like, "Well, why are you being so racist?" And they freaked out her, and she's like, "I said a homeless person," and I was she's like, "I said a homeless person. I didn't say anything more than that. What? Where are you getting racist from? Where are you getting race from?" And they were just like roasting her, and she was like, is this what the left is? And there was like so many situations and scenarios like that where, you know, just life would happen that necessarily shouldn't happen, and she was sort of bitching about it, and the left was kind of just like, no, this is a part of our communist utopia, you will like it. And she's like, well, I don't really like it. And she's kind of like saw the light a little bit. Thank God for that.
Listen, I saw the light. I was drowning out there.
She used to be a lefty, everybody.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's get a little backstory here. That's interesting.
And now she's got a
'Cause I
Trump
think
hat.
a lot of us actually are kind of similar to that, at least on this panel.
Oh, I come from Massachusetts, which is a union-driven state, you know, all about the rights of women and everything else. And that's just what I was told, is if I voted Republican, then I'd be ruining all the unions in our state and I would never get a job. And I graduated in construction. Construction technology is my background. So I was like, if I vote for that way, then I could really lose my job. And never mind being a female in that industry. But now the unions are gone, I'd be screwed. I knew I was a shoo-in. They have to hire so many women.
I got the quota.
It's true,
Okay,
though.
that's a good-
I 100% know it's true.
Were there more men or women in your graduating class for your field?
I started with 10 girls in my class, and I was the only female to graduate my senior year.
You know, because even Rosie the Riveter, after that photo was taken, she was like, fuck this, I'm going back to piano or whatever it was.
So what made you switch sides?
COVID, taking the kids out of school, putting them in masks. My daughter, the little one that you just saw here, lost a lot of her fucking childhood. She can't speak right. She doesn't know how to act right. She's got the mentality of like, she's in 5th grade. She should be in 3rd grade still. And she's not the only one. You know what I mean? You try to teach kids speech and English and you have your mouth covered. So now they're not knowing how to pronunciate words correctly. They're not reading people's expressions. So they don't know whether, you know, you say to your friend Susie, hey, I don't like that top. You know, they're going to look sad. You got a mask on. You don't know you hurt her feelings unless she tells you, you know, and history repeats itself. Women are not good telling you how they feel. They want you to fucking guess how you feel. So she's out of the loop. She doesn't know how people act, you know, and even now when she says something, she'll look for your reaction, but she doesn't know how to process it. She's just lost.
It's amazing that she doesn't pronounce things because with the Boston accent, I mean, it's already a disaster.
That's funny though. What you're mentioning, the like child development, not being able to recognize emotions based on facial expressions. I remember that was brought up in the news, and immediately like some of the late night hosts and other people just started mocking the shit out of it. Like that, you know, was a completely made up thing, just something from the alt-right trying to stir up trouble and not wanting to get all their grandmas sick by not masking all the little kids. And I remember my mom actually, and this was surprising that she agreed with this. She's like, what are they talking? That's a proven that you learn about that in childhood development. This is, of course, that's a real thing.
It's 100%.
She was all for the masking and all that shit at first. So,
and then I would sit there and I'm like, why do they hate this man so much? You know what I mean? Like, And then it just made me start to think and start to research. And when I say research, that doesn't mean just plug it in and read the first page that pops up. You know what I mean? You have to go further than that. You got to dig deeper, do your homework, look at different sources, different things. Don't, even if it's coming from, the right side, you still have to research it because you just never know.
Yeah.
You just never know.
I think a lot of people had their oh shit moments during COVID for the whole realizing the reason you would get to see them manipulate the news real time. Like a good example that night of the injecting bleach comment that Trump never made. You watch that happen in real time if you're watching the news every night because so did we. We're watching it happen. And then within 15 minutes, there were already news sound bites, them not playing the whole clip, just saying he's telling people to inject bleach. The late night shows were all running with it that same night. It's but we all just watched what really happened, and that wasn't fucking it.
Yeah, I don't know if it happened in America the same as in Canada. I'm sure it did. I'm sure maybe it hasn't come out yet, but in Canada, the federal government basically was in cahoots with the military to run like psyop operations because they wanted to test like propaganda skills and basically military techniques on the population. And then we're like, what the fuck? Why are you doing this? Just maybe be honest for once. And it was just, that's probably how we got a country 90 whatever % vaccinated. But yeah, it was bad, man. In Canada, it was really bad. We had it was basically significantly worse than even what Gina Carano was like. Oh, neighbors turning on neighbors. Oh yeah, neighbors were going at each other just like crazy.
I stopped my son from going for college.
Oh, you did?
I would not allow him to get that vaccination. Absolutely not. I told him, I said, you're over 18. You can do what you want, but this is my opinion. This is what I'm asking for you. And I'd rather you not do it. And I literally talked him out of going to college. And I'm glad I did.
And now he's a welder. He's awesome now.
Yep.
Oh, way better off than going to fucking college.
Well, that's what he went to trade school for it. So it's not like he needed it right there. It was more for business and finance and stuff like that. Because eventually he does want to start his own business. So I told him to wait. Everything's going to die down soon. You know what I mean? And then take it from there.
And then that's where community college comes in with just taking a few courses of business to learn.
That's where he was going to go to, and they still required it. And I tried to get him out of it because he is a type 1 diabetic. And I was like, meh, I don't think this vaccination is safe for him. You know what I mean? And they're like, no, that means he needs it more. And I'm like, no, I don't even give him a flu shot. Also, why am I going to give him this?
I'm just going to say a university education can be replaced by a library card if you're diligent, or just the internet. You really don't need it. So when I was looking at business managers, I hired one who didn't go to college on purpose. I hired a blue collar guy because they're in touch with reality and they know how to count money, and they're not in college. They teach you a lot of bullshit theories about how the economy works that aren't rooted in reality, and they don't factor in history and the fact that cycles repeat and that and that our monetary policy is not sustainable. So the market itself might crash. They don't teach you to think about any of those things. So if your business strategy is based on dumb bullshit that only exists in books, you're not going to get anywhere.
Right.
Look at that. Just got handsome in here.
All right. I appreciate you saying that about
me. What up, Darnell?
What's up, guys?
Darn it.
You're getting a little pointy.
Sure am.
So I know we were already talking about it earlier, music and Bill Burr, but I did want to, this kind of made me think about something. You saw the Jimmy Kimmel clip a couple weeks or months ago, whenever that was, when the Free Luigi thing.
Oh, yeah.
Pull it up.
I haven't seen it. I
Let me
have
pull
heard
it up.
about it. It's kind of, and then he backtracked on that or something like that. Disgusting.
Oh,
He did.
it was just a
Yeah.
joke. It was just a joke. It's comedy.
But here it is.
I love how they acted surprised. Why did that happen? I have no idea. He wrote on the bullets why it happened.
Oh, we're back to Luigi. Okay, yeah.
I never left Luigi. Free Luigi.
Now, I'd give him some credit if he didn't immediately backtrack too. The minute he was cornered by the press, he started saying, "What? I'm a comedian. I'm not supposed to be taken seriously. Comedians don't make any kind of cultural impact or provide actual insight into current events or anything like that. I'm just a clown with no education, blah, blah, blah." Which is bullshit. I mean, come on. Everybody's fucking favorite comic was Bill Hicks. Give me a fucking break. Or George Carlin.
Who hasn't been influenced by a comedian? I mean, for real. Like culture wise. I mean, for real.
Yeah,
You
have
know
some
this
courage. Have some courage and know what you're
Well,
doing and know what your role is. Know what your role is.
I'm really influenced by comedians. I've started the no white policy. I hose it out.
Yes. Hashtag hose it out. It's gonna catch on.
I need a shirt, dude. I need a shirt.
That was my idea.
Is it?
No. Oh yeah, it was. That's right.
It was.
Yeah, I mean, a joke that you get 3% of every sale.
Yeah.
So it actually needs to be on Gina's store since it was her idea.
She needs to get a cut. Sorry, Theo.
No, I only hear ideas when they're said by men. So
So then
when
whoever
he
said it
repeated it louder with more
4%,
confidence,
and
so he
I'll
gets the
model
credit.
it for your website.
It's Gina.
Oh,
I'll just pass it all to
okay.
you. I'll pass it all to you, Gina. Don't worry
Wait,
about it.
hold on.
Gina, well, hold on. Theo, again, may I introduce the 4%? This is Gina.
I forgot. I keep forgetting who I'm talking to. Yeah, I might have
Well,
to.
if you give the credit to one of the guys, you got to give him 100%. If you give it to Gina, it's only 70%. I mean, come on.
nice.
There you go.
Okay.
70%.
Okay. Yeah, we might have to do a line of hose it out.
Wage gap,
between these
baby.
two. We'll see what I think of.
Oh, some board shorts.
Now, what would
Oh,
your
yeah.
first response be to a woman wearing a bikini that says "hose it out"?
Hey, you know
Yeah.
Theo.
Yeah.
Hey, I know that guy too.
But what made me somebody brought up Gina Carano during the conversation. That's what made me think about this Bill Burr clip that just happened a few weeks ago. To my knowledge, he's still on Disney payroll. Disney hasn't come out and said what he said about another human being shot was abhorrent in any way. There's been no condemning of Disney. He's still got a job. He's not looking at any blowback. The only people giving him blowback are the fans calling him a fucking pussy now.
Yeah.
Well, not just shot, right? This was premeditated first-degree murder in line
Absolutely.
with assassination, right? So it's
yeah.
not just
Oh,
not just shot. Like I mean, it supersedes that by a lot.
And that's
Yeah.
90%
Basically
of your
advocating
people
for
from
assassination.
Massachusetts.
Yeah, it's I don't know.
So-
Just the fact that he did it just blows my mind.
Someone asked, I think it was last night, when did Bill Burr start? When did he turn? Do y'all remember that movie Old Dads on Netflix 2 years ago?
Yeah.
I don't have
Yeah. So-
Netflix. I
okay,
dropped
so
Netflix.
it was a
dropped
movie.
Netflix after
Okay.
Cuties came out.
Got it. So it was a movie where if you watched it, it was him, Bokeem Woodbine, and the other guy, and another dude. He does a lot of stuff with that ginger guy. So they're dads. They're in their 40s. They're becoming fathers, or some of them already fathers. And like Bill Burr does his typical like F is for family type comedy. Like if you watch that show he did, it was that
I do
it
like that
started
show.
it was amazing. Started just like that. But halfway through the typical comedy, the mood just dips like, oh, we fucked up. We're shitty people. Our wives are smart and know everything. We know nothing. And then suddenly it was a beat on men fest the rest of the movie. Like shit on men the rest of the movie. And after that, is when he just kept going down.
I mean, it's kind of obvious where he started to turn. I mean, just
When he married Nia?
Exactly. When he got married.
But no, he was married. But he was married when he was still doing his shit when he was doing After for Family when he got married, when he was married.
For a couple of years.
This movie is when this came out, this is when he started to change his personality, and then all his stand-up started to change slowly.
I wonder if she went kind of loopy, because a lot of people went kind of crazy during COVID, right? With the social media. I'm wondering if she got a little loopy on the social media activism and then just kind of wore him down with nagging, if that's what happens.
I think we all got into that TikTok era.
Yeah,
Do you remember when
a lot of people with way too much time?
Trump was at a UFC event or whatever, and Bill Burr and Nia or whatever her name is, I think it's Nia, right? And then she gives him like the finger like behind his back, and it's caught on camera, and everyone's like, "What? Like, well, this is crazy disrespect." And then so he had to like go out and like fiercely defend his wife, which he should, right? Any good husband will defend his wife for the most part, but it was just like it was a lot, and I think you could tell that was like weighing on him a bit because she's obviously not quite hinged anymore.
I'm sorry, I don't believe in blindly defending your spouse at all. I won't do. I'll never do that.
I will in public. I'm not married. This is very easy for me.
I won't do that.
I'll blindly defend my cat in public. My cat can do no wrong. Any of you criticize my cat, it's on site.
I'll say no comment. Then, but when we get behind closed doors, I'll lay into her. But not. I mean, I won't. If she's out, I don't mean hit her.
I mean,
verbally lay into her.
Like Louisiana.
Like if she goes out there and starts screaming, "Everyone needs the poke! Oh, we all need this, or we're gonna die!" I might look at her and be like, "Are you fucking stupid?" In public, but I'm not gonna be like, "Yeah, my wife." No, I don't care. No, I disagree with you.
And then behind closed doors, the power mustache comes out. You know.
Yeah, it grows like about a foot long.
We've all heard the joke. You didn't have to tell her anything twice.
Right? What do you tell a woman with two black eyes? Nothing. She was told twice.
No, but the reason I brought up the Bill Burr clip is the recent news with the Gina Carano case. Let me go ahead and pull that screen up if I don't already have it.
Because he was on the Mandalorian.
Right, and still is. He's still employed. I mean, I don't know if they have any more plans for his character, but he hasn't been publicly removed from everything the way that they did to Gina Carano. So now, and this is pretty huge, the discovery motion was granted in her case against Disney. The court is forcing Disney to turn over information about how stars like Pedro Pascal, Rosario Dawson, and others, I'm sure Bill Barr is on that list as well, from The Mandalorian and other Disney Plus shows, and the forthcoming movie, The Mandalorian and Grogu, were compensated for their roles.
This is big.
So,
this is huge.
This is pretty freaking huge.
Yeah. This is essentially it for Disney. It's done.
Well, this is what I've been saying. Regardless of how the case actually gets ruled, as soon as they start getting discovery, she's going to win. Even if she loses the case, ultimately, this is her winning right now. Is them having to finally fucking, show what all they're hiding regarding all this.
Yeah. For the record, I think she's gonna mop her daughter's gonna mop the floor with Disney.
Yeah,
I do too, because cultural shift. Maybe if this case had been pushed forward really fast, even a couple years after it happened, because this has been 3 years now.
Yeah.
So if it had happened like not something ridiculously fast, even 1 year, it might still be a little sketchy. I think she's got a way better chance of winning than losing now.
It's a different world now from when this happened.
Well, I felt if it got to this point, no matter what the cultural landscape was, if it got to Discovery, she wins no matter what. I think because I think had we still been in that other mindset, or not we, but had the culture still been in that other mindset, I think this case would have been a massive push to be the change to what we're going to now. I think she would have won public opinion no matter what. And once it got to Discovery, because that's it, they can't hide anything anymore.
Yeah, once it gets to Discovery, she's gonna win. But that's another good reason why, I'd like that she didn't take the buyout, because they're trying to buy it out or hide it or whatever. And it's like if she would have took the money or whatever, she would have lost like any of the respect she had from the side that she's just gained. So it's like, but she's actually rich and her parents are really rich, so she doesn't need the money. So it's a good thing. It's a good thing I hope it gets a Discovery, and that's gonna be fun.
But I hope this isn't the end of Discovery because there's more things that they want involving different aspects, but this is just the beginning of it. And this is one that they were fighting really, really fucking hard.
Oh, they definitely don't want Discovery. And that's why they fought it so hard. Because now all this stuff's going to come out, all the communications that were happening. It's not just going to be simple, like, okay, was a payroll difference or something like that. No, it's going to be behind the scenes because they've got to find the evidence of a coordinated attack, which I think is going to be there, because it seemed really odd that all these people came out almost in unison, almost right at the same time after her.
And as Mikey pointed out on Pop Culture Beatdown, who ordered the hit? That's what this is. This is coming.
I think we know.
And so, I think we do know. I think it would be Kathleen Kennedy, and then she will be responsible for another $500 million, because this guy obviously isn't the limit. It's not infinity money, but although Mikey might say otherwise, but so it's just not. But finding out who gets paid and how they get paid and where and why they get paid and all that, you sort of. You then get a guideline of what she would have theoretically gotten and what would be reasonable, which sort of sets the floor and sets the ceiling. And then she's then reasonably somewhere in there. But what was that, like $200 million maybe? Maybe there's going to be a feature film that ties it together, maybe a couple seasons, but her own show. I mean, that's a whole lot of money.
Yeah.
But then
she had a spin-off series.
Yeah, exactly, right. So that's a great deal of money that she's out, but there's also that extra little bit where a jury or a judge can say, "Hey, Disney, you did a bad thing. Now this large sum of money, this is your punishment. Don't do this shit again." And then all of a sudden it's $500 million, and Disney's like, "Well, Kathleen Kennedy, what the fuck were you thinking? This is like you've done another movie and it has bombed. So maybe it's time to go."
Right. And what I was pointing out too is they will have no choice but to acknowledge how they did this publicly. They didn't only ruin her chances by getting and take away any money she could have earned through Disney itself. They ruined her completely with any opportunity acting in the mainstream available through the public statement of how abhorrent her comments were, that were about as nothing as anything you could get. They weren't like, what was the whole thing? They were trying to say that she was comparing people, victims of the Holocaust to modern day conservatives. And that wasn't the case at all. She was pointing out that the government turns neighbors against neighbors, which can be looked at through any lens, whether it was the Germans or the commies.
Yeah. Well, unlike like Pedro Pascal's tweet almost at the same time that compared the MAGA to Nazis and the KKK.
Yeah. This is important. Think of all the stuff that's happened since then. Think of all this crazy stuff Disney actors have said that was left wing, that didn't, where they didn't, and she got fired for such a milk toast. Like my mom might tweet something like that. That's how mild it is. It's not, you know what I mean? This is not peak shit posting.
No,
this is relatively weak. And you think of all the crazy shit, like any of these people, like this thing Bill Burr just said, for instance, or Rachel Zegler.
That's massive.
Just her whole existence. Just everything.
Everything about Rachel Zegler. It's offensive.
Just any of this shit, could have been. And so, I think her case has only gotten stronger since then. And I think the real case she wants to win is how the public views her. And right now it's very sympathetically, regardless of how the court decides. I think the public is going to view her sympathetically.
I think the public, by and large, for the most part, unless they've lost their damn minds and they are pretty extremely left, is already on her side. Because for one thing, they already hate Disney. They hate Lucasfilm for what they've done to childhoods. and they've done to beloved franchises. So, I mean, I agree, Iron. If this had taken place like 3 years ago and it was really kind of sped through, it would be a blip, and that would all it would be. Now, because it's been going longer and culture is shifting, no, this is going to be a very big impact.
And I think this will be a bigger case if they actually, start reporting on it and televising it in any way. Way bigger than Johnny Depp. And now Johnny Depp was the same way. If his case got sped through, even if he had won, his reputation wouldn't have been repaired or anything. But because it did go on so long and take so long for them to get where they were, during that movement, more and more people like, wait a minute, maybe I shouldn't believe all women for absolutely without facts or evidence. Maybe that's dumb.
Stung by a bee.
Right. What, women lie? No, stop it.
I can't look at a Maker's Mark bottle without thinking of Amber Heard.
I can't look on shit in a pillowcase without thinking the same
I was going to say, what about when your kids shit their diaper?
Right.
Shit on the bed.
No, you shit on the bed. Amber Heard doesn't even come into mind.
No.
Because that's just like, no, that's just my Tuesday.
Yep. Oh, look, kids shit on the floor again. All right.
The fact that on the stand, he referred to it as a grumpy.
Oh, that's classic.
She left a grumpy in my bed. All right. I got some other topics, but I want to see what you've got pulled up here, Emerald. What's this about?
Someone made a nice little AI video meme.
All right. You vetted it first. It's good.
Round one. Fight.
Yes!
Bye-bye. That's great.
Well, that's just the coolest thing I've ever fucking seen.
That is cool. Holy shit. How do you make that kind of stuff? Sure it's AI, but God, you still need to be clever in some regard, right?
Yeah.
There's
Syfaxx.
like for my intro video, it's only like a 10-second clip. I was able to like take an image and then I could generate it to move. And I took that image and then I took my logo image and then I just typed in what I wanted it to do. I was just like, oh, here's some effects. And it was able to animate like 5 seconds each one and then combine them. That one looks like you can do it with videos and everything. And
these paid programs you guys are using? Because I think that's
some of them are paid, but you get like free credits for a lot of them. Like I usually just use the free ones.
I have a list of like 30 or 40 AI programs. I can find in my email, and it shows which ones are free, which ones are free trial, which ones are paid. But yeah, I could share them with you.
Yeah,
I haven't started looking into them yet, but I will be doing an AI boot camp this weekend, so I'll be hopefully Monday I'll be,
Yeah, maybe depending on what you learn on that, since you're going to be so fancy and accredited to AI, maybe if it's valuable information, maybe we'll have you on and on the Saturday show and talk about that. Okay, but listen, Gina and I, we have to dip out. We have our own show in 9 minutes. So thank you so much for having us on. I love to be in front of the Rogues Gallery audience. You guys are awesome, especially you, Syfaxx. The memes that you come out with are awesome. So
just send me an invite whenever. I'll pop in.
Oh, hell yeah. Next time I'll have an intro ready for
you. Have Theo's attention.
So, Gina, where can Theo find your feet?
Finder or under my desk.
Oh.
Just so you know, she's so short that her feet are currently on a step stool. They don't touch the floor.
Okay. Theo's already thirsty. Let's not the hydrate.
She can only get so erect, please.
You're gonna tell Theo your feet are under the desk. He's gonna take it as an invitation. All right. So be wary of what you say.
You're so red. Why are you so red?
He's hot.
It's a trick of the light. Or maybe I'm thinking about your feet. We'll never know.
Yeah.
We'll never know.
And knowing is half the battle.
All right, guys. Well,
Theo, wasn't Feet Finder your name in college?
That was, yeah. That was my OK Cupid
Your
profile,
nickname?
actually, for a long time.
well, you might have a cause for copyright infringement then, man.
All right, so I'm Sean of Third Railify. You can find me at Third Railify on YouTube, at Third Railify on Twitter, and at Third Railify on Rumble, which we're going to go stream on right now. And that is the show about nothing. So you definitely should follow me there if you're not, because this Saturday we have the great and powerful Theo Snodgrass as the guest. And Theo, I did get the thumbs up from the wife. I can be on Touchgrass.
Hell yeah!
So we can do a double feature this Saturday. So that would be great. And then and then we have I got to get my calendar out, but after the break, after your Vegas break, Iron and Selena will be on, and then I think after that, Emerald will be on. So it's definitely good to follow my channel. You should do it, because every Monday we also have Pop Culture Beatdown with Darnell, who's having a stroke, it looks like. And yeah, so that's me. Gina, what about you? You have a channel. You should
Yes, I have a channel. You can find me at Mom's Mystery and Mayhem on YouTube and Rumble. You can find me on X at SHRTY7081. There is no O because I never made it to 5 feet. That's why it's short. See, corny joke. There it is. So you can find me every Sunday at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, where I go over a lot of conspiracy theories, a lot of fun stuff like that. And then on Wednesdays, you can find me on Sean's channel on a show about nothing.
Awesome. Well, you guys have a great evening, and thanks for hanging out for a while.
Yeah.
Thank you for having us.
Later. See you later, Sean. See you later, Gino.
Peace out, guys.
Wicked smart.
God, thank God they're gone.
All right, can we get to real topics now? No.
Yeah.
Okay, so Feet Finder, what do you guys got?
Third Railify and Shorty, they're both great people. We had a lot of fun last night. That was a crazy stream. You came in getting just from the get-go, Theo, just getting
dude.
like
Okay, here's the thing. I know I said a lot of vulgar things to Gina last night, but I was matching energy. She hit me as soon as I popped in the chat. I was there intending to be polite, trying to redirect, trying to be a gentleman. And then she was like, I've seen your show. And then she was like, I wonder what Theo would say if I told him I wanted to push him down and step on him. And I was like, oh, fuck, she has seen the show. Oh, my God. She knows my weaknesses. So she was coming at me right out the gate. So I was just matching energy. I want that on the record.
You have to get defensive, man. It's okay.
Well, it doesn't help that you keep forgetting that she's part
Where's
of
the Feet Finder?
Yeah, she's part of 4%, dude.
Hashtag where's the feet in the check, guys.
Hashtag where's
Need
the
the
feet?
internet sleuths to get on it.
W's for feet.
Emerald, can we make a graphic for next Touch Grass? Something about where's Gina's feet, or the continuing search for Gina's feet? Can we get a graphic
with like some sound
in the world is Gina's feet?
Yes. This is.
That's
we got to get this going.
Oh man,
I might be able to make a meme for that for you.
Excellent.
Where's the feet? It's already happened. Sorry, Gina. And the ladies are helping.
Excellent. Shout out to the 4%. We love y'all.
Oh man, since we're already talking about Star Wars, you guys saw John Boyega's attacking basically accusing the fans of the racisms for not being accepting to a black character in Star Wars.
Everyone I know, every fucking person I know, and I didn't know you guys then, so I'm just speaking for people I knew personally. They all wanted Finn to be the big dude in that trilogy.
Yeah, like the idea of a stormtrooper turned Jedi, like that's where everyone's head went
Yeah,
And
dude,
it's
I thought that was such a
you're-
cool
you're
idea.
the stormtrooper. Like
It was.
we were voting.
Everybody's
we were
envision
rooting for
of
you,
that
man.
movie. Exactly. Everybody's envision of that movie was so much better than what we actually got. And we thought he was the main character because all the promotional material had him with the lightsaber. The first trailers focused a lot more on him than Rey. And he might be right. Maybe they're not accepting a black character. No one gave a shit that you were a black dude.
No.
Everybody was fucking rooting for you. All the racist Star Wars fans that are, part of
When
this
they
whole
showed his
anti-Disney thing.
When they showed
were
him
all
not
for
shooting
him.
and the blood across his mask, which I kind of rolled my eyes at first, like, oh, go, look, this hokey shit, like the blood thing. But like when he didn't react, no, I didn't write him off. I was like, oh, look at this trope. But as soon as that happened and he didn't shoot, I was like, this dude's awesome. I want to see this guy's story. I want this dude to be the main character.
Force sensitive, defect stormtrooper, seeks out Luke Skywalker,
And they
becomes
started
his
the Jedi
apprentice. That's what
100%.
everybody wanted. That's what everybody expected. Instead, we got girl boss imitation, just a rehash of New Hope with a chick in it.
I can fly the Millennium Falcon even though I've never been in it.
So we'll just have to set the record straight. We're not racist. We're just heavily, heavily sexist.
Misogynist.
Both. But you'd think he would know. I mean, here's the thing, like with X-Men 97 right now, not John Boyega, Bodemayo of X-Men, who's a gay black guy, put out the best X-Men content, best Marvel content we've gotten since
96
Endgame. 96 was a fucking masterpiece.
That's what I'm saying. Since then, to me, 97 was the best.
This dude is at least self-aware. He's going on shows that would normally be considered, a little bit on the right leaning of the cultural side. And because he understands these are the people supporting him, they liked his work and don't give a shit about anything else about who the guy is. We're even the ones like, so what if he had an OnlyFans? Fuck off. We just want more X-Men.
Right? So I follow him on X, and when he posts stuff, granted, he does post a lot of like underwear pics of himself or like bathing suit pics, like Speedos and shit. But
gay guy, why are gay guys always such thirst traps? I mean,
I don't know. Look, the guy's got a great physique. If I had physique straight or gay, I would show it off too. But what I'm getting at, what? Fuck off! I have a good body. I want to show it. You can't shame me. Kiss my ass. He'll post something, and even if it's about X-Men, so like nothing to do with a picture. He posted in that post, someone will come on, and it's usually a black guy will do it. Will come on and just trash him for trying to be a thirst trap. And he's like, dude, this post was about fucking X-Men. Had nothing to do with his post from earlier today or the one from yesterday. Like, can you not let go that he's posted stuff like this? Do you have something you want to tell us?
It wasn't.
Diana, wait, Finn's gay. Kind of now. Oh, wait, that's the wrong one here. Where is it? Wait, Finn's gay. No, but he's kind of a. Well, I can't use the word. We're still on YouTube, but
didn't someone say
the word you would use for a straight guy who's just not, cool?
Like him and Poe Dameron.
Yeah, that was a love story there that they decided to move away from.
Well, were you really a Poe and Finn shipper?
Yeah, no, I'm not. But they really wanted to try to make that a thing.
Two guys can't be friends anymore.
Nope. Apparently not.
It's worse for women. When was the last time you saw two women have a normal, healthy friendship in a series that doesn't eventually lead into lesbian?
They're trying it out.
I haven't even seen that in real life, Iron.
You live in the Pacific Northwest.
I've just never seen women be friends with each other. They're either fucking or they hate each other, and that's the only choices.
Come to the South.
Or they're related.
Which doesn't matter in the South.
Specifically West Virginia.
Okay. First one I can find. I had to hit something there.
You be nice to sister, mom.
Oh my God! Speaking of, there's got to be Rule 34: lesbian incest porn, lesbian hillbilly incest porn.
You don't even need Rule 34. Just go to any porn site. You can find it.
Yeah, I could just open up this folder on my desktop, and it's right here.
The one labeled
Theo has
Taxes
it on his phone
2007.
open right now.
I'm just
really, Theo, you're going there after shaming poor little Nate, poor innocent little Nate.
No. That was for cartoon porn, not for incest porn.
Okay,
right. Right. You just got to slap him around and say, what's wrong with you and all this cartoon porn? Where's your hillbilly incest porn? Be a man.
Yeah, seriously.
I mean, at least Nate's creative. He probably made his own. So come on.
Oh.
James Hurley, Iron Oxide. What show would you rather watch 24-hour or game? Would you rather watch 24-hour or 24? Sorry, 24 or Game of Thrones? Both have sour endings. I'd go with Game of Thrones. I like 24 all right, but it kind of got logged. It got
supposedly a
really
movie's coming out this year
It's
or
like
next year.
it's kind of procedural. It's like a procedural.
Crazy,
so it's like the same thing over and over.
24 had a huge drop off after season 1. Season 1, it was a very cool concept, but after that, it was like, fuck, man, maybe Jack Bauer is just irresponsible. You know, like he keeps getting in these situations. I just want him to get some sleep.
Wow, you sound like a Los Angeles firewoman. If I have to carry your husband out of the fire, he shouldn't have got himself in that place in the first place.
Seriously.
Going back to James's, that's a good point. 24 shit ending. Game of Thrones shit ending. I could make a whole list here. Dexter, one of my favorite all-time favorite shows.
Dexter had 2 great seasons and then 2 okay seasons.
How I Met Your Mother, the worst ending of a sitcom.
Yeah, of a sitcom, sure. God, there's so many.
It's hard.
True Blood.
It's hard to end a television series well. Part of the appeal of television as a medium is that you feel like you're hanging out with these people week after week, and nobody's ever going to be happy to say goodbye to what feels like a friend. So it's really hard to, and also it's like, how do you wrap up a story that's kind of meant to go on forever and meant to keep resetting at 0 over time?
Now, I know people hated Supernatural season 12 and beyond, or beyond season 12, but the way they wrapped the show up, the last episode I find was good. I was happy.
I have not seen the last. How many seasons does that
15.
show have? Fucking hell! 16, I've only seen 9.
The first 5
the last one
great.
I saw was the one that was the last
First 5 is where they originally kind of had their ending, because that's with the Lucifer thing. And then after that, they were like, "Oh, you're here's money, keep going." And they were like, "Ah, shit, I guess."
Yeah, Kripke admitted he only had 5 years planned when he started the show.
I think that's where I stopped, was 5. Everything I saw was good, but then it was like, why is it coming back? And I saw the new trailers and they looked retarded, so I dipped. I just never got back to it.
12 was supposed to be the series finale, but then the president of CW gave them hey, you know what? Said at Comic-Con, as many seasons as you want, you guys can do it. And crowd went bananas. So season 14 and 15 or 13 and 14, I think, or 13 or 14 was almost like Psych season 8. Hey, okay, Jensen and Jared, make whatever episode y'all want. Make your dream episodes. And they just made that was a Scooby-Doo episode season, and just they were like, do whatever you want. And that's where they had fun with it.
Okay, Diana's got a good point. Breaking Bad and Better Call was fantastic, as was Better Call Saul. Breaking Bad had a great ending. Better Call Saul was okay. I wasn't real keen on it. But what are some examples of shows that actually wrapped up well?
Okay, IT Crowd.
You liked
IT Crowd. You guys familiar? It's a
I know it, but I haven't seen it.
Yeah, it's a British sitcom about nerds. And it's here's the thing. This is the reason it works. It's got 4 seasons, 4 episodes each, and then they did a movie. So I think where American shows get fucked up is they feel like they have to go on as long as the show makes money. So you make a bunch of bullshit episodes where if you're making 22 episodes a season, you're going to have 18 good ones.
Yeah.
Max. You're going to have some, lemons in there. 2, if you make 10 seasons of a show, you might get 5 good ones. you're going to have some shitty ones mixed in there. That's just how it goes when you're making that much. I think British television gets it right. They make as much TV as they have an idea for, and then they fucking quit.
Yeah. And well, they have the benefit of not having an infinite, like they have a set budget from the beginning, so they know what they can do and how long it's going to go.
Yeah.
I would say a good example of a show that went on probably a little longer than it should have, but wrapped up very nicely. Perfect last episode was Mad Men.
Yeah.
I didn't see that.
I just recently got Mad Men on Blu-ray.
In the same vein, like it went on too long, but I think I like the ending of them. There's actually two of them. It'd be The Office and Parks and Rec.
Yeah.
I can agree with that.
Agreed. Now,
That's
the Shield. I like The Shield. I found that one didn't run its course. It knew season 7 was as far as it could go.
The mission was better.
It was damn good. I found season 7 of The Shield they knew this is it, guys. We can't make the stakes any higher, and they ended it on a very, very realistically good note.
Mm-hmm.
No, Mad Men made me want to live back in the 60s.
Oh fuck, me too, dude. You were just allowed to be a man.
Yeah. I actually, you want to know what? On all these period shows and stuff like that, I really do think Mad Men encapsulates it perfectly. Enough of sprinkling in actual historical events in there and stuff like that, and a very good main character with facing, because a lot of it it's really all Don Draper's story. Now you do have the side characters that do get to explore a little bit, which they get to do when you have longer seasons, longer episodes. You can start getting the other cast involved in there, but in the end, the show is Don Draper. Draper is Mad Men,
and this guy was everything that represents like the stereotype of toxic masculinity. But dude, they marketed that character toward women. They were just fucking, dude. Every woman I knew was fucking crazy about John Hamm over that fucking show.
What do you guys think about the ending of Sons of Anarchy?
Didn't watch it.
Never
saw the ending.
I haven't got to the ending either.
Good, man.
I haven't seen any of the show.
I like the way that they end up ending it. It's the same with a lot of these shows. Like all of a sudden you have like a bad season or so, and then they kind of bring it back, and then they wrap it up usually nicely. I think they did well with that show. It was filmed in my hometown, so I watched all of it. Like,
I saw someone shitting on the ending. They were saying like, you would have done that or whatever.
What bad show was filmed in the town that Theo lives in?
Portlandia.
Z Nation.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh my god.
Yep.
That show started so good.
Here's the thing. I've only seen like, I think the first season. I didn't hate it. It was just kind of a goofy, zombie show. Does it get progressively worse?
It's worse and worse. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a little too goofy for me, so I didn't. It wasn't something I had to watch. Oh god, there was another fucking dog shit show that I couldn't. I started watching. I knew it was shit, but I kept watching it anyway until I could finally get fucking torn away from it. It was that Van Helsing, but with a chick. What the fuck was that shit called?
Oh yeah.
It was just called Helsing, or no, it was called Van. It was either Helsing or
Jane Helsing.
Yeah, Jane Helsing, something like that. Yeah, it was so fucking retarded, man.
Wasn't Lena Headey? She played her? Oh no! It was the chick from Letterkenny. It was a chick from Letterkenny, one of the dude's wives.
Let's see, Chick Van Helsing show.
Letterkenny is great, man.
Yeah, it's.
Did you see Shorzy too?
Awesome.
Did you see?
Oh,
Shorzy
I love Shorzy. I've just rewatched season 4 the other day. It's so short. I love it. Letterkenny got started was one of those shows that went on too long.
It was called Vanessa Helsing.
Oh, jeez. I like Jane Helsing better than Vanessa Helsing. Jesus.
Well, that was the character's name. The show was just called. You were right, Syfaxx. It was just called Van Helsing. But oh my god.
Yeah.
Well, man, I grew up on Buffy the Vampire Slayer. That was my favorite fucking show when I was in high school. And it just kind of, this one wasn't good, but
I always liked Battlestar Galactica too. Like, I don't know.
Oh, that was a good one.
I like that whole show. Yeah,
that one good start to finish.
Yep. That one, a lot of people don't like how it ended. I think the ending was perfect.
Yeah, I didn't mind it.
I thought so.
I
know that they didn't have a choice. They wanted to keep going, and then they wanted to even do a movie. Did they ever do the movie? I don't remember.
No,
like
they did do some kind of little specials in there because after the show wrapped, they went and redid the one which was called The Plan, and it at least kind of covered the initial Cylon aspect of it, and so you kind of see why they were doing what they were doing. So it wasn't just the children of humanity are coming back. There was an actual the plan, because they always said, and they have a plan, and they have a plan, and they never explained what the plan was. And that was actually directed by Edward James Olmos. The Plan.
Are you looking forward to the
Yeah.
Oh, you looking forward to the Buffy movie reboot, whatever it's going to be?
No.
Because apparently, everyone's back.
Something recent that just ended that I thought was really good. I mean, again, it had like a bad season or so. Was Cobra Kai.
I loved Cobra Kai. It was great.
Yeah.
Haven't watched that. Don't give away the ending. It started
getting too hokey and too
karate equals magic.
These guys are right. These guys are right. No, these guys are right. No, no one's talking to each other, so there's all kinds of miscommunication.
Like season 3 or some shit, it starts going off the rails, and then they bring it back around.
When Netflix bought it, they were able to get it back under control.
You bring up a USA show in the sense of Psych, another USA show, Burn Notice. I never want to fucking go to Miami.
I love Burn Notice. Fucking love Burn Notice.
I thought Burn Notice is great. I like that one a lot.
Psych, the way Psych ended, it was fantastic. And then they had 3 movies to kind of like whet appetites every few years. And this thing's
what was the other one? Monk had a good ending too.
Yeah,
the ending was good, but I didn't like the show.
It was kind of it was an acquired taste. It was very dry. It was cool seeing Buffalo Bill as the police captain, though.
That was weird.
Now, Diana and Allison both brought up a show that I loved, but I hated the fucking ending. I'm sure they'll disagree. Bates Motel. Did anybody watch that one?
No.
Okay.
I watched the first season of it. Yeah.
It was great.
You can explain anything. I don't think I'm ever going to really watch it.
Yeah, all I know is the kid who played him went on to be that retarded doctor in that new show.
The good doctor,
New Amsterdam.
Memes. So it's a retelling of Psycho, and you would think it would be kind of like a prequel to the movie. They did a lot of things well, but I'll go ahead and. Do you care if I spoil it or no?
Don't care.
Okay. Well, they kill Norman at the end. And that was a huge missed opportunity. All they had to do was make it seem like he dies, do a flash forward scene to him running a different hotel or a lodging cabin, an attractive woman walking in, and then moving the picture to watch her, shower. And it would be perfect foreshadowing into the Hitchcock film. But they just killed him off. It wasn't a bad ending, but it wasn't good. It just felt like a huge missed opportunity.
Yeah, they seem to miss the mark on finales for a lot of pretty decent shows, and it's like Theo was saying, yeah, sure, it's hard to wrap it up, but it's I feel if you're going to start something, you should have an idea of what your ending is going to be, even if you're not sure. You're going to hope your show gets that far. It's like I got 3 seasons planned. Let's hope for it. So let's make these first 2 really good, and then let's really flesh out the endings on the 3rd season or whatever, however many seasons you have. But I feel like they aim to just be like, let me get 3 to 4 seasons. Do you have an ending? No, just give me 3 or 4 seasons. What?
Yeah.
And then you just get bad television over and over. That's why the second seasons of so many shows right now have been fucking awful. Severance was turned out to be pretty bad. That shit fell off a cliff. Some people like the ending of 1923, but the rest of the episodes were it was stupid. They just kind of all wrap it up at the end, real quick and convenient. And it's they just keep doing that with second seasons and stuff. It's It's getting annoying.
Well, with older TV, I will say that a lot of times the reason why the shows seem to go kind of off the rails at a certain point is, the creators only really kind of sketched it out for only so many seasons. But what was brought up earlier is very true, is that, well, this has ended up being a hit show, so we don't want to end it, so we're just going to drag it out now.
Or
How I Met Your Mother kind of fell under that trap.
Or like Community, they fired Dan Harmon after 4 seasons because because of stupid internal politics, and that show went fucking downhill as soon as they let him go. That was it.
No, but don't worry, it ended up landing on the most successful streaming service ever, Yahoo TV.
Which to me, that season was the worst season out of all of them.
Didn't even know that was the thing.
It was horrible.
What were you gonna say, man?
I'm sorry, Emerald.
No, there's so many shows like that. Californication, one of my favorite shows ever, had a huge drop off after season 1. Season 1 was excellent. There's a huge drop off because another one, Righteous Gemstones. I don't know if you guys watched that. It's an HBO show. The first episode was so compelling. Oh my God. It had me on the edge of my seat. I was like, for those of you who don't know, there's a guy in like a mega church pastor, one of these multi-million dollar preacher families, and he's getting blackmailed with like a video of him doing coke or whatever. And he's one of these famous preacher guys. So it's a huge deal. It's Danny McBride, and he's playing it straight and funny at the same time. And he's just freaking out. He doesn't know what to do. It's going to destroy his marriage. All that tension, right?
And Walton Goggins just kills it in every scene.
Yes,
they had so
they're
many
incredible
pieces. In
Danny
the first
McBride
season.
is so underrated in so many ways.
Yeah, and then
almost every show he does is a banger, man. Eastbound and Down, freaking Vice Principals, and like Gemstones. Even though it's definitely fallen off like this 4th season, because I'm reviewing with Hold My DualShock as it comes out right now.
Yeah,
and I mean it's not all that great, but the characters are still funny. Like they still have their moments, but as far as the intrigue of like, this guy's about to get blackmailed, stuff like that kind of is missing. It's definitely missing.
Yeah. That was so cool.
One show that doesn't kind of really get brought up a lot, but I definitely think about halfway through its run is where it kind of went off the rails, and that's the American version of Shameless.
I haven't seen that.
Yeah,
that one went on
way too long.
Yeah, that one fell off. But there's a new show that actually just kind of ended maybe less than a month ago. It's called Paradise. Have you guys checked that out yet?
I've heard of it, but I don't see it.
It's fucking awesome. Like, do yourself a favor. Get to episode 7. It's the second to last episode, but watch it up to then. I mean, it's intriguing up to then, but goddamn, episode 7 is like one of the best.
What it's on?
It's on Hulu.
Okay.
Yeah. So, and I feel a lot of people tend to have Hulu, but check
is
that.
Is that an American show or is it
It's American.
Yeah. Okay, that's surprising.
And it's surprising, and it's surprisingly done well. And like the concept and what they're dealing with once you start learning what's all happening, like I said, once you get to episode 7, it's like it's stuff you've probably seen in movies and TV shows before, but it's done so fucking good.
Yeah, I wanted to see this. It's good? I really want to. I saw my list. Yeah, I want to watch this.
That's the only thing that I would be worried about is like the second season drop off that we've been talking about.
Okay.
But the first season, I could say it's kind of a banger. Yeah.
Okay, I'll have to check that one out.
Yeah, it's Sterling K. Brown, dude. That dude's always good.
Oh yeah, I like him.
Favorite role is the dentist in Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Yeah.
Ready and
another show that's gone on to way too long. Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
I found it got better the last few years.
I feel it dropped around season 8 or 9, and now I feel like it's kind of came back. But I haven't watched any of the newer stuff for a while. Yeah.
I find it's got the last 14 and 15 seasons were good.
The last 14 or 15.
I mean the last. I meant to say the last 2, 14 and 15.
Okay.
Sorry, I misspoke. I found they were good. Especially 14. 14 was all about Mac finding out his heritage, and they were in Ireland the whole time, I think. It was a good season.
It's one I haven't watched in so long, but I know I'll get sad when I find out it's canceled. Like, I haven't watched it in like 3 years, but
Now, what's his name? Rob McElhenney, the one married to Caitlin Olsen. He's just started a show, Mythic's Quest on Apple
Mythic
TV.
Quest on Apple TV.
That's
That's
fucking good.
Oh,
Season
man.
4 should be coming out this year.
That's another one though that just fell off a fucking cliff
It
after the
did.
first season. Oh
Well,
my
I found out
god!
the second season it got really bad. The
Yeah.
third season was.
Oh man, really tough. Really tough to watch that happen.
They got really, really into the whole politics of pronouns and shit. And
Did you ever watch Bad Monkey on Apple TV?
No, I didn't.
It's with Vince Vaughn. It's actually pretty good, and
I want to see it. I haven't seen it.
He's pretty damn funny in it. Yeah, he's funny in it. Yeah.
No,
Apple TV every now and then drops some good stuff on Apple TV. I mean, they don't drop a lot, but every now and then they have some pretty good shows.
Right.
I'm just not gonna pay for another fucking show.
I just get it for free through my phone plan, so I was like, okay.
That's how I got Max.
Yeah,
I don't pick my phone coverage. My phone based on coverage or ability to access the network. I pick it based on the offerings of the streaming.
Hey, listen, the streaming services I have are the ones that come with my phone and the ones girls leave signed in at my house. So I have to be careful.
Yeah.
Before he makes him hose
Honestly,
himself out, he makes him
I
log
just
in.
had a chick change the password on me. I lost Disney Plus.
You're not dating me for me. You're just dating me for your passwords.
You're dating me for my D.
Right. This girl's about to get a call back or just a text. Disney Plus and chill.
What's fucked up about that though is probably Disney alerted her that her password's being used in a different location.
What happened? Theo hit her up is like, hey, what happened to the D plus? And she's like, sorry, you only get a D minus. So she
fucking, bro, she aired me out on Facebook because I stopped talking to her, but I was still using it. And so she just aired that shit out in public.
Selena brought up a good one. You is fucking cool. And it just shows that, these male feminist types not to be trusted.
Yeah.
Because he's the very progressive, thinks he's such a good guy and so noble and white knighting. It's like, yeah, he puts bitches in cages.
Isn't that like the stalker one or some shit?
Yes, but it's a good fucking show. And what it does really well, while it does have like a lot of like the, I had no way to not use the word woke, but woke elements, it also makes fun of it in a certain way. And it shows that this guy who thinks he's woke is actually horrible. And it completely has no idea. I like me some, the psychological thrillers and, serial killer type shit. That's why I like Dexter so much. He's like a kind of a Dexter style character, but not nearly, you don't have nearly as much empathy for him, but you're still rooting for the fucking stalker that puts bitches in cages. You can't figure out why.
Maybe because you see yourself in him.
It's like, especially fucking, it makes me question Selena's
Iron sees himself
get caught.
Iron sees himself in the cage. No, he sees himself in the cage.
Why not me? When is it my turn? She's thinking when he's watching the episode.
I want to be in the cage.
We're gonna do a little role play, but I'm
Where's
the
my
one in the
cage?
cage.
Where's my cage?
You know how many times I've tried to be kidnapped? Jesus.
See, even like Tony's saying, he chose the wrong women to love. Everybody defends this fucking guy. He's a stalker. He's like beating it outside of the woman's window that he's gonna stalk and try to seduce later on, and you're still rooting for it. Well, it's really, those women were kind of bitches, so they had it.
Okay, so Jason brought up Squid Games. I think that one's still up in the air right now. Because I watched season 2. It was 2. Yeah, 2. It's only half a season, and it's the where it's going, where it makes you think it's going, is a good ending, I think. But it's on how to execute it, and because coming from Korea, there's a good chance it's gonna come out good.
Hey, I know those guys. They moved on.
We were just fired. That's all.
Speak for yourself. I still go on there sometimes. Shit. So fuck it, that kind of derailed the whole thing. I lost my train of thought. Somebody else say something.
Squid Game.
Squid Games. Okay, that's what you're talking about. I didn't hate. I see a lot of the criticism in season 2, and it was definitely slower, and I felt like it was unnecessary. That didn't need a season 2. But I didn't hate it either. I mean, it kept my attention. It was all right. I'm gonna watch the next one. I want to see how they wrap it up, but definitely not as good as the first one, but not as bad as
No. Now what's another one? Shit. It was one where these 3 guys go into in Korea. They go into a bathroom during like rush hour. Because like they call
what kind of Korean films are you watching?
No, listen. It's three buddies. Like one guy's got an interview or something. He can't get a job.
I bet they're buddies.
Or he gets a job, and then like they're in like the main square in the city, and like they cause some crash to happen, or something like that. They cause someone like fall into the street, get hit by a car. So they run into the bathroom to hide from the cops. They jump in a stall, and like the lights get all crazy, and then like they're like. It's kind of like
Japanese.
Okay, yes.
It's called Alice in Borderlands. Yes, Diana got it. That one, it lost me towards the end. Japan is kind of like the UK. They take their fucking time.
It lost me towards the end.
Okay, you'll get. It did, but I still want to see how they're going to wrap it up.
Same. It just they dragged out the last few episodes. Could have been condensed to like that storyline. Could have been condensed to one and filled it with some other stuff. It just when it hit that point, I was like, "Oh God!"
Just like in Squid Game, they focused like, "Okay, we get it. They're a transformer. It's not that big of a deal. Let's move on with the fucking story."
Yeah. Then the whole part where they're on the roof with is it the alien or the AI? I forget what it is.
Mm-hmm.
And like that whole I had to rewatch that scene 5 times just to understand what's going on because I kept like tuning out and like, "Oh, look at that," and not paying attention.
Mm-hmm. It's a good show. You know, a show that another foreign show that was good start to finish. And it was clear, like Theo was saying, if they, European shows that'll have a plan, they already know where they're going at the beginning and where they're going to end up. So they don't have the burden of trying to continue the story on. And one that was just every episode was fucking fantastic was Dark. It's a German show.
That one. Okay.
Great show, and if you're not into subtitles, the dubbed version is completely acceptable and translated almost perfectly. And also, I believe some of the German actors actually do the English dubbing of their own voice. But that one, if you're into, that's a great example of multiverse, parallel dimensions, time travel. I love those genres when they're done right. The thing is, nobody does them right, and that's why it all sucks and stupid. And like in Marvel and everything else, they make it retarded. Dark does it well, just like a good example of a show going on way past it should have and falling off a huge cliff was one of my favorite shows, Fringe.
Yeah,
another good example.
I was about to bring that up, Fringe. You go.
Great show, great way to depict multiverse and time travel.
Yep.
And all those theories, make it work. Good storytelling, and they just the fucking last 2 seasons.
Okay,
man.
I'm going to say something. This is I think the panel will back me up. I think you guys will back me up on this. You know who doesn't get enough credit for how it handles parallel universes and time travel is fucking Dragon Ball Z. I think they did a great job with it because fucking Future Trunks comes back.
Starts
a new timeline, but then he returns. He returns to his old timeline, and it's still the same, right? So you get kind of a cool wit. So everything's still fucked up there, but now he's super strong, so he can whoop up on the bad guys and like save his dimension. But there's still
what's left of his world. Yeah,
that way you avoid paradoxes. You avoid you can't be your own grandmother, whatever.
Yeah.
But he still doesn't want to say things because it would impact the future. So it's like
what he does anyway next episode. So then
it's like I don't know. I think they did a good job.
When I was a kid,
I agree. Yeah.
That was when I was a kid, that was the first time I had seen time travel explained in that way on any show or anything I'd watched or read to that point. Because it was always kind of that you go back in time, change something, you change the future. Of that set path, like Back to the Future version. So that was the first time that I'd seen that, and then I started seeing a lot of other things, reading other comic books where they did that a lot.
Yeah, it's another one.
Good example.
Man in the High Castle. Started out fantastic.
Oh,
First
dropped
season
off a
was
fucking clip.
fucking amazing. I love alternate history. I love how that played out the whole, hey, what if Germany and Japan won? Look how technologically advanced we'd be and all this shit. But then like season 3 was absolute dog shit. And season 4, the way it ended was like, oh, you didn't end the show. You just left it open for another fucking season.
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh, you're going to bring everyone from that reality here. Like, what? Why? The Germans are still in control. The Japanese are still in control. Anything that's unexplainable, they fucking kill or jail. You just brought a whole bunch of people who are inexplainably here. So what do you think is going to happen? It's so dumb.
Our friend Professor Snape. So another show that's always overlooked, Black Sails. That's what I always wanted to watch, but I never got around to it, and I should have because I like pirates.
It's pretty decent, but you know, it's usually just called Sails, but it's coming from him, so I understand. No.
Consider the button smash. Thank you, Gray. Yeah, that's one. It's been on my list of shows to watch for years, but I never got around to it. Kind of like how I'd start Sons of Anarchy, but never fully finish it. Hey, we got Isaac here. What up, Isaac? We're actually just we're gonna go ahead and start wrapping up here. I want to keep tonight's show a little bit short. I got a few things I got to take care of this evening, but we had a great show.
I got one for you right here if you want to pull up what I'm presenting.
I
love it.
This looks like the cage from Romeo and Juliet.
I just googled like whatever the cage from You is. Apparently, this is it.
yeah, that's the cage if you want to call it that. Oh man, no, You's a great fucking series. I hope they wrap it up well. So, but I've liked just about every season of it. It's pretty short too. There's only I think they're only doing 4. Let's see. You guys should make a list of the best overlooked shows of the past 25 years. That's a great idea, actually. I've got several. So many of my favorite shows never got finished. They ended on a cliffhanger. Yep. One I just happened to be fucking watching while, like, you know, just browsing Netflix one evening was Jericho.
I don't know.
Skeet Ulrich.
I haven't watched the full or the full series yet, but it's a show I feel has definitely been overlooked, which is Banshee. Banshee's fucking awesome.
A lot of people have been telling me that. That's on my list too, and I've never gotten around to it. Devastator.
Reaper's another one that got just kind of overlooked and kicked off.
Oh, Reaper was great, man.
When the vampire shows came out, CW just fucking canceled it. Reaper was fantastic.
That was the thing, man. There were so many Buffy clones there for a while. It was hard to keep up, but some of them were so good. Grimm was another good one. That was like on the very end of the Buffy clone.
It started shit and then got good. I had the reverse effect. The first season was kind of shit.
I loved it. I loved it.
Well, and I explained it best this way. There was Once Upon a Time and Grimm came out at the same time. I loved Once Upon a Time, and I didn't like Grimm first season. But then, like season 2, they kind of switched places. Yeah, Psych is my favorite show of all time.
Psych was a good one.
Absolutely. But yeah, Grimm. Did you finish Grimm?
Yeah.
What did you feel about the last season or two?
Not good. I didn't like the last couple seasons very much, but I mean, it was fine. It was passable.
Yeah,
it was just kind of whatever.
They finished the story, so that's what matters.
Yeah, you can tell it was a we got canceled, so we have to wrap this up fast.
Yeah.
All right. Well, like I said, we got a lot to do this evening, so we're going to go ahead and go around the horn. We'll start at the bottom with Drunken Emerald. What you got coming up, man? Where can people find you?
Okay, well, let's see. This Friday at 9:30 PST, we have the Insert Title Here show, and it will be our last show until after we get back from Vegas. And then, let's see, Saturday morning at 8:30 PST, we'll be over on Sammy 3Pete's channel, Cavecast, where we're taking the deep dive into the lore of Batman. This week is part 2 of The Butler and the Cop, where we will be talking about James Gordon, Commissioner Gordon. Let's see. Then we got Touchgrass with Theo Snodgrass at 11 a.m. PST. And then we start heading to Vegas. And I'm working on things to get set up to do some little live stream shows on the trip down and while we're doing events and having fun down in Vegas.
Oh yeah. Darnell, what you got coming up, man?
Friday insert title here. Then I'm probably gonna be taking the weekend to do that AI course. So I'll be probably off of shows for the weekend. To be like a 16-hour course in 2 days. Then Monday, Pop Culture Beatdown with Sean and Killer Games Mike. And then I don't know. I guess I'll just pop around for the week, the rest of the week. Next week, I'm working on some music at youtube.com/@Sham Records. Have an album up, a bunch of singles, and I'm working on 2 albums right now as we speak. This should be up relatively shortly. So yeah, that's about it.
Oh yeah, man. We'll know that AI course was a success once you start posting convincing pictures of yourself looking rather fit in your underwear to thirst trap the other homosexuals online.
That's right. That is right. Oh, and go see Primetime when it comes out later this year or next year in theaters.
Right on, dude.
And one other show. As a kind of programming note, Nerds Covering the News will return on April 22nd.
Right on. Theo Snodgrass, what you got coming up, man?
All right. Well, I host a show. My name is Theo Snodgrass. I host a show called Touch Grass with Theo Snodgrass over on my YouTube channel and also on Rumble, which is where I really want you to watch it because they give you money. 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. That's when you got to come tune into the live show. This week, it's a very special episode. We're going to have Third Railify on, and it's going to be kind of a double feature because he's going to be on my show, and then I'm going to be on his show later that same day. It's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to have Gina on, too, if Gina says yes to me. I think she's a great fit for the program. I love to stack the panel with as many misogynistic women as I can find. It's a great fit for the show. It's going to be good. I'm very excited to see how it plays out. I think it's going to be great. I also, if you can't get enough of me, I'm also on Nerds Covering the News. I'm on the Weekly Rogues Gallery. I'm on the Weekend Rogues Gallery. And I'm on Insert Title here over on Emerald's channel. And I'm going to be going down with him. So we're going to be doing some kind of live streaming before Vegas and like leading up to the meetup in Vegas. It's going to be a lot of fun. I'm really excited. So if you want to keep track of that, make sure to follow me on YouTube, follow me on X, follow me on Rumble. That's the important one. That's the one we got to grow, right? And that'll help you keep track of all that stuff. Buy something from my merch store. Subscribe to my Patreon. It'll be fun.
Hell yeah. And don't you and Gina have a show called what was it called again? I don't know if we can say it on YouTube.
No.
Safe word with
No safe words. No safe words.
Safe words.
No safe words.
No safe words. Yeah, we can't say their names.
Greedy feline.
Greedy feline.
Yeah, that's premium content. That content's all paywalled.
I thought it was called, stick your foot up your grass, something like that. Wasn't it something like that?
All right. It's Syfaxx, brother. It was great having you on. Yes. You're welcome back anytime. And what you got coming up?
Right on. Well, tomorrow I'll be on with Hold My DualShock for Fan Rant Thursday at 4:30 Pacific time. And then I'm going to go see the movie Warfare. So I'll be doing a review about that. And I saw the movie The Amateur last week. I still need to get around to doing a review of that. And then at 10 o'clock, I'll be on DA's stream for the nightcap. And then Saturday, I might do a stream. I'm not sure yet. And Sunday, again, for the DA's office. And then Tuesday before Vegas, since DA is going to be out of town, I'm going to actually be covering the Daredevil finale for what usually is the nightcap. And it'll probably be earlier, around like 8 p.m. or so. And then it's off to Vegas, where I get to meet all you lovely people. So that'll be fun.
Oh, yeah.
Next week, basically.
Yes. So Rogues Gallery will be back this Friday at 5:35 p.m. PST with our special guest, Hyperbolic Ninja. Really looking forward to that. That will be the last scheduled show until after the meetup. So no scheduled shows all next week as far as my channel is concerned. But there is a very good chance we will be doing some streaming, and I may make some other appearances on some other shows, and you'll just have to follow me over on X to get the announcements as they happen. I would really like to get a little bit of a live Rogues Gallery, even for 15-20 minutes stream going during the meetup if possible, but everybody's there having fun, so I'm not going to make that a priority, but we'll definitely let everybody know if that happens. This weekend I will be over on Sammy 3Pete's channel, just like Emerald said, for Cavecast, followed by Theo Snodgrass, Touchgrass. Looking forward to is it going to be like Gina, you and Sean and high-fiving and I guess I'll be in the cuck chair for that.
No, there no cuck chair. However, the search
I didn't
for
say
Gina's
who was
feet
in the
will-
middle.
Hey, the search for Gina's feet will be continuing though. Hashtag where are the feet?
Right.
Let's find it.
One Jack on that.
I like how getting onto Theo's stream is just like, oh, you hate women too? We should hang out.
Bro, everyone, my inbox is full of people I know sending me misogynistic memes. They're like, hey, did you hear about this shit women did?
And I will be on Lindy Riggs' channel on Rumble. I'm putting the link there on Saturday at 6 p.m. Pacific time. Got an invite over there last minute, so I am looking forward to doing that as well. But anyway, it was great hanging out with you guys. As always, we'll be back week after next with the normal stuff and probably get up to a whole lot of mischief and shenanigans in between in Vegas. Looking forward to that. You guys ought to stay tuned. Follow everybody here. Links are down below. Follow everybody to know what's going on.
I'm not in the description.
You can, well, fuck. You could have told me.
It doesn't. I just noticed. It's fine. I'm just
okay. Everyone, look at.
It's okay. It's okay.
He's been putting in.
Right,
He's been putting in the chat.
Can you make Darnell full screen so he can get the attention he feels like he deserves?
Okay, that coming from you, that's like the pot calling the kettle black. All right. Like high pot, meet kettle. I fucking love it, dude.
All right. We had a blast. Thanks again to Sean and Gina, and go sub to Thrillify and Mom's Mystery Mayhem. Am I saying that right? God, I hope so.
Mom's Mysteries and Mayhem.
All right. Go sub to their channels. They were a hoot to have on, and we'll see everybody again week after next. Good night. Oh, we'll see you Friday. Then a week after next.